Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Jay. Yeah, I just wanted to give my thoughts on what's really the goings on with Miss Simone Biles and dropping out of the 2021 Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. I already gave my thoughts on why I don't think anybody should be competing at the 2021 Olympics, and you can go check that video out in the archives. But in regards to the Simone Biles case, what I think. Well, basically, guys, the background of it. Simone Biles yesterday basically said that she's dropping out of the 2021 Olympics due to her wanting to focus more on her mental health and mental stability. And I completely support this and I applaud you, Simone Biles, for realizing what a lot of athletes fail to realize, that mental health and mental um, stability is more important than winning gold medals in the Olympics and more important than winning any championship. People are giving examples like Ben Shapiro, for example. Ben Shapiro is one of them, giving examples of Michael Jordan when he played for the Bulls and he had the flu. And they said, well, Michael Jordan played through the flu. Why can't Simone Biles um, play through her mental health issues? First of all, well, one, because Michael Jordan wasn't playing with the flu in the midst of a unprecedented last year that was totally messed up. Two, Michael Jordan was a $1 billion athlete. Simone Biles is an Olympian that while they do get endorsements, they don't get as much as NBA players. And three, some of the people that are criticizing Simone are some of the most unathletic, nerdy, and loserish people that ever could be existing. And one of them is Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro wouldn't even know an athletic maneuver if it bit him in the face. Neither would Pierce Morgan, who also criticized Simone Biles by saying that her dropping out of the competition wasn't heroic, and that she accusing her of abandoning her teammates. Pierce Morgan is a fat, out of shape, ugly British man who's not even American, so why should he care if we win the medal? Another person criticizing Simone is another unathletic loser in life, loser in athletics, criticizing Simone's move is Candace Owens. Candace Owens, I have more athletic ability in my right pinky than Candace Owens has in her whole body. So, right, Lisa is absolutely right. And I was just going to bring that up, Lisa. Lisa says that Michael Jordan is not a gymnast, and gymnasts are more athletic. And plus, the abuse that gymnasts have to go through. Let's not forget about the name Larry Nasser, who was accused last go round in the Summer Olympics of abusing sexually and sexually harassing um, several young women on the gymnastics team. Let's not forget about that. Let's not also forget that gymnasts have to go through a tremendous amount of pressure in order to do what they do. Anyone can sit on the sidelines like these political pundits, these losers, these geeks who again they never had an athletic bone in their body. Can Candace Owens do what Simone Biles does? Can Ben Shapiro do that? Can Pierce Morgan even dream of it? No. They sit there and they criticize and they point fingers. That anybody can do that. Anybody can be a political pundit and talk crap, armchair quarterbacking and dictating from the comfort of their computer screen what Simone Biles should have done. But can they do it? If put up to the pressure, if put up to the pressure, can Candace Owens do that? No, she's a skinny, out of shape, moronic person who doesn't even know that their home country, St. Thomas, is a part of the Virgin Islands and is part of the United States and thinks she's somehow special and distant from other African Americans just because she was born in St. Thomas or Virgin Islander ancestry. She's a dumbass. Ben Shapiro, come on, this is a man who says in his by his own admission that he takes books to parties and reads them because nobody would speak to him. Pierce Morgan, come on. We spoke before in all my archives about him and some of the racist hangups that he has about black people because of him being rejected by Meghan Markle for Prince Harry. So he's just jumping on the bandwagon. But these people and everybody on the right can't have no place to talk shit about Simone Biles because they can't do what she does. They can't achieve what she can achieve. They can't even come close to achieving what she can achieve. And a lot of these people have the flu and they call in sick for work. They have the sniffles and they call in sick for work. They get their feelings hurt and they call in sick for work. If this poor young lady were to commit suicide, God forbid, because of the pressure put on her by assholes in the right wing media, then they would all be crying foul. They would say, well, we shouldn't have done it. Again, like I always say, I say this about celebrities a lot. We talk shit, we criticize, we comment. That's what we do with commentators. But at the end of the day, you got to remember gymnasts and other celebrities, these are people too. You know, she said, no, she got the courage. Lisa saying Simone Biles said she got the courage to drop out from female tennis player Naomi Osaka. Exactly, Lisa. I have a video on Naomi Osaka's situation in the archives. But yes, sometimes you got to step aside. And people are upset, people their feelings about this situation because of what they perceive it to represent for the United States. You know, people are saying, well, she let the United States down by dropping out. Well, Trump dropped out of Trump, who's their hero, dropped out of a war because he had bone spurts, allegedly. So, what's worse, lying about a physical ailment and dropping out of a war when your country really needs you, or dropping out of some stupid competition that even if they won wouldn't mean jack shit anyway, except to the players. I mean, really, would the winning the gold medal really make the United States any better than any other country that they competed against? No. This is the Olympics. This is a competition, a sporting competition founded on the celebration of pagan gods that people don't even worship anymore that were from ancient Greece. This means this means jack shit in the in the scheme of things. And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to discredit any athletes. Yes, they work hard. Yes, they train hard. Yes, they put their bodies on the line. They sacrifice, especially gymnasts, where they have to consume like 900 calories a day, and it means a lot to them. But your mental health means more. Your physical safety, your mental safety means a lot more than a gold medal. This country, the United States, is too sports obsessed. We think sports is the be all end all. We think that sports people are heroes for simply doing their jobs. We put sports people like LeBron James and stuff on a pedestal, and we expect the LeBron Jameses of the world and the athletes of the world to compete for us, for our entertainment. And if they don't, we criticize them for it. Yes, Lisa is reminding me in the 1980 Olympics in Moscow, 20-year-old Elena Muhinka un, under rotated the Thomas Salto, a flip, landing on her chin. As a result, the gymnast broke her neck and sadly became paralyzed. Reportedly, Elena had advised her coach that she didn't feel safe performing the move, but the coach had dismissed her comment. Exactly. Like the Soviet Union, Lisa, the United States has become completely obsessed with beating other countries in a sport. In just a sport. Remember the movie The Mighty Ducks back in the 90s when Coach Bombay told Charlie, he said the most important, I'm paraphrasing, the most important thing, Charlie, is that you go out there and you have fun. Because in the end of the day, gymnastics or hockey or baseball or basketball, in the end of the day, you got to remember, guys, it's all for fun. It's not that serious. It's not a life or death matter. It's not a war. And that's what they make it out to be like. It's some kind of war. Like she went AWOL. You know what I mean? Like she pulled a Trump or a George W. Bush where she draft dodged or she got her father or she got somebody to write a medical note for fictitious bone spurs and she dropped out of a war that was really important where there was real stakes at hand. This is just a competition. This is just a game. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times we lose sight of that when we get caught up in the mania of sports. I, as you guys know, I'm not a sports fan. I say it over and over. I'm not a sports fan, so I don't I don't understand really the the devotion, the devotion that people have, Lisa, to sports. The importance that they place on sports in society. I am not an athletic person. I am one of the most athletic, non-athletic people that you could ever meet. I have no interest in sports other than covering it for just news purposes. So I've never understood it. I've never gotten quote unquote it. You know what I mean? Like where people cry over sports because a certain team or a certain gymnast or a certain person won in a competition. They place the most importance on it. To me, it's just like, okay, yeah, if you won, you were better at your sport than I was. You were better on that day than I was. And if I won, then I was better. You know what I mean? Like the way people are making it out to be is like Simone Biles, you know, abandoned the troops at the Battle of the Bulge or something. You know what I mean? Like a big important battle that lives were at stake. All she did was say that she values her mental health over an Olympic gold medal. That's all. And Lisa is saying that you're not going to be playing that sport or doing gymnastic moves for the rest of your life. Exactly, Lisa. You will eventually retire. But to the sports fan, to the sports fanatic, to them, all that really matters is that you win the games, you win the medal, you compete. They don't look at you as a person. They don't value your humanity a lot of times. Because even when you disagree with them politically, like Colin Kaepernick did, or like LeBron James is known to do, people say, "Oh well, they don't deserve to compete. F them." People don't want to take their opinions or their considerations into consideration because they are a sports athlete. As if being a sports athlete and being athletic or being a jock, quote unquote, as we used to call it back in the 90s in high school, um, you know, means that you can't show emotion, means that you cannot show vulnerability. That's the image that is projected in the United States media about athletic people, about sports heroes, particularly about black ones. Yeah, I'm bringing race into it because I feel like that plays a role. Because since black people um, dominate in mostly every sport, even in the Olympics, the United States that is racist and exclusionary to a lot of black people feel like these athletes have to perform for them. They have to compete for them. They have to win medals for them. If they don't, then they are less valued. The value of their life, their value of their person, is is associated with their ability or inability to compete for the United States government. I mean, excuse me, for the United States country in the Olympics, or for big American corporations like the NFL, the Major League Baseball, or the NBA. If black athletes can't do that, then they don't feel like black lives really matter. Or if black athletes can do that sufficiently enough, and they don't agree with the right political viewpoints, they still invalidate their existence by saying they can't play, like they did with Colin Kaepernick, or Megan Kelly saying that LeBron James should just dribble and shut the hell up. So in other words, I'm only good if I can perform for you, if I can do the things that you want me to do, if I'm a slave to you, if I'm no longer a slave to you, and I don't um, service your ends to make a profit for you or to win a medal for you, I am no longer good enough for you. You are now invalidating my existence. So these racists, and yes, Candace Owens is in this pile too, because even though she is black, she acts dumb. So she's in this pile too. These racists are basically telling Simone Biles that black lives don't matter, that her life doesn't matter, her mental health doesn't matter unless she can perform and go out there and win medals. Go out, yeah, Simone, go out there and win medals for us, the United States. And if you can't do that, then you are worth nothing to us. So they are proving the point of Black Lives Matter activists when Black Lives Matter activists say that conservatives believe that Black lives don't matter. You're proving that point. You're actually proving that point by treating Simone Biles and by treating Naomi Osaka the way you're treating her. You're proving the point of Black Lives Matter activists, whether you know it or not. Because you're treating Simone Biles as if her life is expendable. That all she's worth to you is her athletic ability that comes with her biological composition as a black woman. That's all. It would be the same thing if a guy broke up with a woman because she didn't want to have sex with him. If if he if he went out of his way to wine her and dine her, and then all of a sudden she doesn't do what he wants, and then he throws her out. That's what America is doing to Simone Biles. They're telling her, "Oh, you don't want to do what we want. You don't want to go out there and win medals. Then you're worth nothing to me, because I could easily get another one like you." because in the mind of a racist, there's hundreds of super athletic black people, right? Simone Biles is easily replaceable in the mind of racist conservative racist conservative establishment to them, according to them, because of what they believe is the superior physical genetics of black people, which of course comes along with the other side of the coin, which they don't want to say, but they kind of do say, is the diminished intellectual capacity that they also believe that black people and people of color possess. So I'm only valid to you if I can do the things you want me to do. If I can't do the things or I refuse to do the things you want me to do, I am no longer of service to you. I'm put out to pasture like I'm a horse. So after all these years, we're still in the position that we were in 1857 when the Dred Scott decision was announced, and black people were determined to be no more valuable than this table. Because what happens to this table when the table can no longer serve the purpose of a table that I feel like a table should serve? I throw the table out because the table doesn't have a life. The table doesn't have feelings. The table doesn't have emotions. The table doesn't have a life. It's expendable. And if it had a life, it doesn't mean anything to me other than the purpose that it could serve it. So they're proving the point that Black Lives Matter activists been trying to get along this whole time. The people like Breonna Taylor that couldn't be athletes. The people like George Floyd that couldn't be athletes. Their lives don't matter because they're not LeBron James and they're not Simone Biles. And Simone Biles apparently life as a person, as an individual, doesn't matter to these people only if she can win medals. It's really messed up. It's really messed up that you think that these black athletes, because you don't do it to white athletes. When Nancy Kerrigan got attacked in 1990, whether it was two or three, people sympathized with Nancy. People said Nancy Kerrigan was brave for enduring what she had to endure at the hands of Tanya Harding. But they can't sympathize with Simone Biles because they're racist. They don't believe that Simone Biles' life matters. And it's really fucked up, guys. It's really fucked up. But in a way, I'm glad this visceral reaction from these racists like Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, and Pierce Morgan is happening because it's showing you the naked, unbridled racism of a lot of these people and the mentality that a lot of these people have towards athletes of color. But anyway, I applaud Simone Biles for her bravery in valuing her selfhood and her personhood over that of an Olympic gold medal. And don't give me and wrestling fans. This is what I want to point you to. Don't give me the shit. I've seen this online. Don't give me that line about Kurt Angle. He performed. Oh, he won the Olympic gold medal in 1996 with a broken freaking neck. Well, that's Kurt Angle. Every individual has agency. Kurt Angle had his agency. Simone Biles has hers. So I don't want to hear that either from the wrestling fans in the peanut gallery amongst you. Because I've seen that meme since the Simone Biles. They don't do it to the men athletes either. They say, yeah, well, yeah, they don't. They don't, but they would. If LeBron James suddenly dropped out of the game tomorrow and said he did, Matter of fact, Michael Jordan. Lisa brought up a perfect example. When Michael Jordan's father was killed in 1993, Michael Jordan left the game of basketball. He left the entire game of basketball and he went to baseball. How come Michael Jordan wasn't castigated? How come Michael Jordan wasn't crucified in the court of public opinion for his quote unquote leaving the game of basketball when he was going through emotional distress? People go through weaknesses. Athletes aren't superheroes. Athletes aren't superhuman. Athletes aren't godlike. Athletes are people like us, emotions like us, conditions like us that are fragile. So Lisa's absolutely right. There are countless examples of athletes that they've given passes to, that they've made excuses for before. Anyway, guys, thank you, Lisa, for contributing. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell button to see when my next video is coming out. Peace, love y'all. And Simone Biles, you are tremendous. And to me, this makes you even more of a champion than you were before, not just in the game of gymnastics, but in the game of life. Peace. Love you.